Welcome to the second day of the University of Makati's sixth Research Congress, hashtag UMak RC 2023, with the theme Achieving Global Excellence through Institutional Synergy. Thank you for upping your research game today and deciding to join us this morning. Center for University Research hosts this event annually to encourage all faculty, personnel, students to participate in research-related activities and better yet, through research. I trust that you've done the registration from 8 in the morning. And don't worry, for those wondering when you'll get their certificates, the evaluation form link will be sent to you at the end of today's session. Also would like to say good morning to our university leaders, our management committee, our esteemed faculty and heads of offices, to our students who have been very participative since yesterday. Hope you're all still tuned in and hope you'll gather more nuggets of wisdom today. We also would like to thank the following people and their institutions who have served as peer reviewers for our university. Leo Andrew B. Baclar, PhD, Research Director, Capi State University, Rojas City. Alfredo V. Umali, LPT, MA English, Language Learner Lead, Lebanon City School District, Ohio, USA. Leandra S. Estudilla, LPT, MBA, PhD, St. Paul University, Quezon City. Carlo Delfin S. Estudilla, MS, Basque Center for Applied Mathematics, the University of Basque Country in Spain. El Mirando T. Morris, LPT, MA, RPSY, RGC, College of St. Benil de La Salle University, Manila. Juanito E. Bautista, MAE, Papua University, Manila. Juan Jeffrey U. Consignado, DBA, Colegio de San Juan de Letran, Manila. Jasmine Naja J. Pinugo, PhD, Program Chair, Mapua University. Our university internal referees, Engineer Luke Ivan B. Moro, LPT, MBA, Vice President for Finance. Professor Maria Faye Nanette M. Cariaga, RPH MS Farm, PhD M, VP for OVPPR, or Vice President for Planning and Research. Ray S. Medanilia, LPT-MA, former Director, Center for Curriculum and Materials Development. Ms. Jennifer J. Laluna, RL, LPT, MLIS, Director, Library Learning Commons. Eldebrando G. Caday, MA, College Secretary, Center for National Service Training. Judith J. Batin, LPT, PhD, College of Arts and Letters. Henry G. Magat, LPT, ED, College of Arts and Letters, Chair, UMREC. Karen Gale C. Ibanez, RPSY, RPM, College of Science. Diana Ross F. Gamil, LPT, MA, Office of the Vice President for Finance. Francisco M. Lambohan Jr., RPSY, EDD, MAPSY, LMT, College of Science. Mark Philip Padaran, College of Arts and Letters, Vice Chair, UMREC. So a kind reminder also to our participants to kindly put your Zoom links on mute. But if you have questions or comments or any clarifications, please feel free to use our chat box. And should you decide to also share photos or take photos of the event, I'm sure our CUR team would be very happy if you could kindly share it to hashtag UMak RC 2023. Also would like to greet the so far, if I'm correct, 132 participants online. Good morning to everyone. Hope everyone's having breakfast or at least having coffee. And also, sorry, I'm corrected. It's already 151 attendees. Growing by the minute. Thank you so much for that. Also would like to thank, it's a synergy as the theme goes. So thanking also the people and teams who have helped us. Dr. Nicamille Sanchez, our sponsors for the refreshments yesterday. VP Ed Tapia from the OVPPA Zoom link. VP Attorney Jewel Bulos for our assistance in being able to use the mini theater. VP Dat Cariaga for the vitamins that several of our happy attendees received yesterday. CIC for the production and for always supporting and upping the game as well. And Rimport, of course, for always being there for the audio and the visuals. Thank you so much for supporting the CURT programs for the past 2 days. Right, so did I forget any house rules? So I think we could go to the meat of the matter and to kind of start off with things. I just would like to share the musings and the synthesis more or less of Professor Daxa yesterday as he did his synthesis for the morning. And he said that the Congress served as an enriching platform for learning, collaboration, and reflection, reinforcing the pivotal role of research in the university's pursuit of academic excellence and its contribution to the global academic community. So I hope that as everyone listened yesterday and took stock of what the different speakers have mentioned or have shared, I'm sure you all have your own musings and you all have your own thoughts on the matter. Please feel free to also share it with the CUR team. Type it in the chat box. Maybe something really significant that struck you from yesterday's different speakers. And as you go through that musings, we also would like to proceed by also introducing our first speaker for today. So let's really make it a synergy. As we listen to our first speaker this morning, please feel free to share your thoughts about yesterday's session. So let me go ahead and introduce our first speaker for this morning. She has contributed to the field of pharmacy, allied health education for almost 22 years and occupied positions as department head, executive director, associate dean, and dean. Her competence, commitment, and dedication earned her recognitions. St. Louis University BS in Pharmacy, FACOP Silver Medalist, Centro Escolar University CEU MS in Pharmacy, Excellence in Research, July 1996 Pharmacy Licensure Examination, 10th placer, SLU Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Management, magna cum laude, 2007 SLU Presidential Awardee for Research, 2020 PPHA Outstanding Pharmacist in Pharmacy Education, 2021 UMak Most Supportive Dean, and 2023 CEU AFI Distinctive Achievement Awardee, Excellent Pharmacy Education. Currently, she is the president of the Philippine Association of Colleges of Pharmacy, PRO of the Philippine Pharmacists Association Incorporated, second member of the PRC CPD Professional Regulation Commission, Continuing Professional Development, Council for Pharmacy, member of the PRC Career Progression and Specialization Committee for Pharmacy, associate member of and officer of the National Research Council of the Philippines, or NRCP Division 4. He also sits as an observer in the Asian Association of Schools of Pharmacy. Was formerly the university secretary and now the vice president for planning and research and concurrent dean of the Institute of Pharmacy, University of Makati. Please help me welcome our very own VP Maria Faye Ninette M. Cariaga.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Camille. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Good morning, dear UMak community. Okay, so good morning once again to everyone. It is always an honor and a pleasure, and at the same time, a very humbling experience to speak in front of you, virtually and in person, dear UMak community. So magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. My topic to be presented this morning is something that is very close to every person's heart in the UMak community. And this topic is advancing the strategic vision for the tribe of herons, a research process. So this is a very brief introduction about how the university started. So we started as Makati Polytechnic Community College. And as MPCC, we offered technical and vocational programs in industrial and business technology, with an eye towards uplifting the dignity of the underprivileged and low-income families of Makati. Now, fast forward to the year 2000, the visionary leader, Professor Tomas B. Lopez Jr., came to the university. And this was his vision. We envisioned the University of Makati as the primary instrument where university education and industry training programs interface to mold Makati youths into productive citizens and IT-enabled professionals who are exposed to the cutting edge of technology in their areas of specialization. The university shall be the final stage of Makati City's integrated primary level to university educational system that allows its less privileged citizens to compete for high-paying job opportunities in its business and industries. Up to this time, the University of Makati continues to fulfill its major role in responding to the needs of providing quality public tertiary education and skills training to the morally upright, self-reliant, and community-oriented but less privileged citizens of Makati. And this is our current university logo with its symbolism. So we have the torch representing, of course, the very functions of our university along instruction or teaching and learning, research, and extension. And then the handle of the torch, which has 3 nodes, representing the transformation of our university from Makati City Polytechnic College to Makati College, and then University of Makati. The rays of the torch represent the geographic pattern of the city and its 33 barangays. And then the gear stands for the business programs the university initially offered when it was established in 1972. And the triangle denotes technology. Industrial technology, one of the original programs the institution developed. Fast forward to 2023. Last August 9, 2023, during the university planning session, we were able to somehow reflect on the things that we have done. We have grounded ourselves to what we have right now as essentials in the university. What have we done? We asked the question, what have we done as a university? And so we performed grounding, alignment, and then initial visioning. So the question that was posed was actually, did we already achieve the Vision 2000? Very much anchored on total quality management in education, or total quality education. there is a strong need for every institution to have a strategic vision. It is considered as one of the most important critical success factors of any institution. Strategic planning enables an institution to formulate long-term goals and priorities. In our everyday, we are facing several tasks to be accomplished, several deadlines to meet. Sometimes our everyday becomes overwhelming. And we have the tendency to lose sight of what's actually there, our end in mind. And so, having a strategic vision keeps us focused, brings us back to our priorities, to our goals. How are our functions as employees of the university, for example, align with the very vision and mission of the university? So this research or this endeavor has posed these objectives. First, to establish, based on records and documents review, if we already achieved Vision 2000 by our dear Professor Tomas B. Lopez Jr. Second, to find out if the Vision 2000 essentials, current core values and goals, the brand of Heron alumni, institutional outcomes, performance indicators measured, and the new vision of the city are aligned. Third, to find out the key themes generated from the SOAR analysis by representative stakeholders. SOAR, or S-O-A-R, would stand for the strengths, opportunities that we have as an institution based on our current context, our aspirations, and the results that we want eventually. Fourth, if alignment is not evident, to advance Vision 2000 to Vision 2025. Match the current context and direction of the university, and propose a strategic planning framework for the University of Makati for 2025. Essentials, we have the vision, mission, core values, goals, programs and projects, and activities, and outcomes measurement. For the methodology, we employed qualitative research. Particularly, we did proceedings, records and documents review, mapping and alignment, SOAR analysis consisting of a questionnaire with open-ended questions, and then our respondents are from the institutes, colleges, and offices of the university, with a response rate of 84.78%. The data were analyzed using thematic analysis, the traditional one, and aided by NVivo. The locale is, of course, University of Makati. We started this in August 2023. This is still a work in progress, but we will be presenting the initial results. So for the results and discussion, first, along the fruition of Vision 2000 by Professor Tomas B. Lopez Jr., based on records and documents review. 2017 versus 2023, foresight and then fruition. You may read through those who are actually doing multitasking. You can also focus your eyes on the screen while listening. So foresight, institutionalizing a new education paradigm for technology-based learning, enhancing the quality, accessibility, and effectiveness of learning experiences. For 2023, what is the result or the fruition? We now have the TBL Hub, and we are employing flexible learning, of course, as accelerated by the pandemic. So hybrid, we have online, limited face-to-face, and then on-site. Next, being responsive to industry needs. So in 2017, President Tomas B. Lopez said that we have to be responsive to industry needs. So we connected with hospitals that specialize in traditional Chinese medicine. Now, for 2023, the Philippine Institute of Traditional and Alternative Healthcare, or PITAC, accredited UMak as an acupuncture clinic and training provider. OBE is one way of teaching. Now, we went beyond that because we have OBE, or outcomes-based education, complementing flexible learning. Data science instilled from HSU to college. So this is already implemented in CCIS. Board-based programs should have a private sector partner. We have affiliation sites and host training establishments as partners for board-based programs. Bring UMak at the same state of higher education institutions in the country. UMak has been recognized as a top-performing school based on licensure examination performance. UMak is an institutional member of accredited academic professional organizations, both local and international. We have accredited programs. We have institutional recognition. We have been recognized by WURI, and we are a member of the UNAI. Revisiting board-based programs, its status and development, such as program delivery, internal QA measures, faculty qualifications, development, and then institutionalization, of course, audit. So we have performance along accountancy, education, civil engineering, nursing, pharmacy, psychology, radiologic technology, and especially law, which are considered to be very good to exemplary. Revitalizing the role of the Knowledge Management Center then, research, library, and curriculum. In 2023, we now have the Center for University Research, the Library Learning Commons, CQMD, and of course, the TBL Hub. However, of course, CQMD performs its functions in relation to the colleges or the institute's responsibility along curriculum review, materials review, and outcomes assessment. Next, College of Workplace-Based Learning. We now have, of course, CCAPS, College of Continuing and Advanced Professional Programs. New flagship programs, Realty Management and Microfinance for CBFS. 2023, Realty Management is still under review. Microfinance was implemented in scope, now CCAPS. DCNB, Social Work and Disaster Management Program. It's in the pipeline now, 2023, under the Institute for Social Development and Nation Building. And then for COAS, in the pipeline now is TCM as a certification program to be under CCAPS. Next is navigating the professional world through smarter industry academe alliances. So we now have CLCDP becoming CILP, performing those functions. So CILP, Center for Internationalization, Linkages, and Placement. And then we have industry partners along varied areas, along teaching learning, research, extension, employment, and entrepreneurship. And then we have international partners along the areas of language and culture, CMU, or China Medical University. And the pipeline is MOU with Wenzhou Ursuline University. Measuring outcomes through alumni tracking. So of course, we now have the Center for Alumni Affairs in collaboration with AUAI, colleges and institutes, reinforcing the need for alumni tracking. So there are developments along that line or along this area, but of course, we still need to improve on tracking our alumni. Towards responsive extension program. So we now have Center for Community Extension and Development. So clearly defined, with clearly defined functions and deliverables. So we have adopted communities of UMak and the city in Laguna and Bulacan. And then we also have teaching, learning, research, and extension relationship being emphasized. So for example, we have the cultural mapping or heritage writing, soon to become heritage writing for the University of Makati. And then towards responsive physical resources, well, evidently, there are implemented projects along this line. Improving organizational productivity through responsive IT strategic programs. So we have CIT developments and services, that's very evident. And then of course, we have the TBL Hub and LMS, our own LMS. Gearing OSL services towards a competitive higher education. We now have the Office of the Vice President for Student Services and Community Development Programs. We have published a student handbook. We have policies and guidelines along anti-sexual harassment, safe spaces, and we have a very functional student council and organizations. Gender-sensitive academic community, we have this for employees under HRDO, and for students, we have the Center for Guidance and Counseling. 2018, foresight, the first one, New Frontiers in Senior High School Education, offering of ladderized HSU college programs. We have this, however, it's not ladderized, but it's complementing the programs that we have in the tertiary level. A different COE or College of Education, BSE in senior high school to be offered. Now this will be explored by SITE, or the Center or the College of Innovative Teacher Education. Proposed MA in Psychological Assessment and Counseling, it's in the pipeline under costs. Develop UMak own instruments dynamically. Zero-based grading system, promote integration or interconnectivity of output and need of offices. Implement research aligned with degree programs, and then research funding. So in the pipeline, as I've mentioned, for the MA in Psychological Assessment and Counseling. And then we have developed our own instrument during the pandemic to cater to flexible learning context. Grading system was then revised by the Office of the Registrar. And then process integration approach is being implemented also in the university. Inter-office relationships becoming evident. CUR services and policies are, of course, in place. Marketing transformational leadership in education and innovative education is being done under CCAPS, revitalizing the role of UMak alumni for the 21st century. We have now in the university the CAA Project Retrace, partnership with Jobs 180, the amplification of the culture, loving Makati, loving UMak, giving back to Makati, and giving back to UMak. Raha program in place, awarding of alumni achievers like top-notchers and competition champions. Creation of Center for Performing Arts. We now have the Center for Culture and the Arts. Adoption of course audit for all board-based programs and calling mechanism. This is already adopted. We have retention policy in the colleges and institutes on top of the universities for some programs. And then UMak Research Agenda for 2018 and beyond. CUR has revisited already the UMak Research Agenda, and this will be presented a little later by the Director, Florante de los Santos. 2018, still towards a responsive library service. So fruition, digitalization of LLC services. UMak as a construction management training hub. So we had before a diploma in construction engineering management. It was created, however, the program was discontinued for some valid reasons. And then UMak as melting pot of business, a center for financial services. What have we done along this line? Increased partnership with the private sector, and then ladderized programs. Venturing into law, we now have the School of Law. CCS, higher level IT curriculum. This is being done by the CCIS now. OBE retraining for colleges and centers. This was implemented through CCMD. Specialized plantilla items for faculty members from the industry. We now have a merit system for lecturers. Proposed UMak Charter revision. This is already done. OUSEC leading UMak experience. We now have a set of reinforced roles of OUSEC offices, OUSEC offices like CIC, CAA, CILP or CILP, CDPRM. Internalizing quality assurance, so we have CQMD. And then for ITC and registrar on class schedules, so implementation of class scheduling with various admin offices. For the past 2 semesters, the OUSEC was actually the supervising MANCOM along this line, coordinating all the offices concerned with class scheduling. Now, 2019, research foresight on research on realizing employment opportunities for UMak alumni. As mentioned previously, still needs to be emphasized. Work immersion of HSU. OJT as central strategy of UMak, employment platform. Monitoring policy for OJT program with OJT supervisors and coordinators. This is being done by CILP, CAA, and CAA. Community Extension Program, Extension Planning Workshop, Participatory Standalone Extension Program. This is taken care of by the Center for Community Extension and Development in collaboration with the different colleges and institutes. And then for recognition, accreditation, and certification, okay, let me just pause for a minute to address some technical concerns.
Right. Thank you for everyone's patience as well. Just kindly give the tech team a minute or two to do this. Appreciate the patience once again. Appreciate everyone's patience. We are back, and we shall continue with the talk of VP Net Cariaga.
Okay, thank you very much. So to continue, along recognition, accreditation, and certification, 2019 foresight. We now have CQMD working on, or have worked actually, on COPCs, IR or institutional recognition, and then PASCU accreditation, ongoing preparation for this. And then integrated student records management system and services. So this is in progress. We are now in partnership with PhilPass along this line. And then also we have plantilla items to be found for deans and college secretaries, so implemented. AIP to be doable, workable, and realistic. So this is mainly a foresight in 2019 by Professor Tomas B. Lopez Jr. Standardizing supplies need of the colleges, budget request protocol to be followed, technical training on AIP preparation. So evidently implemented. Orientation on how to properly spend training budget, training definition, not to be restricted. So implemented for 2023. Professor Tomas B. Lopez Jr. during the 2019 planning session said that we must not, or emphasized, we must not lose our capacity to dream, and let us dream together. So planning must result to knowing what we should do tomorrow. And the pronouncement of the then President Tomas B. Lopez, which I think is very important to what we're doing right now, which is the visioning exercise that our university is currently doing. He said in 2019 planning conference that the vision of UMak has already evolved. However, he emphasized that we should not lose sight of to whom are we for, or para kanino tayo. And so this is very important still for all of us, the very reason of why the University of Makati exists. University of Makati is the University of the City of Makati. We serve the children of less privileged citizens of the city so they can actively participate in and competitively partake of the city's economic progress. We must never forget who we are, whom we are for, and what we have to do for those for whom we are. So that's from Professor Tomas P. Lopez Jr. We also have revisited our 10 best strategic management practices alongside our Vision 2000. And what do we have right now? So this was based on the online survey administered by the Office of the Vice President for Planning and Research on June 29 to 30, 2023, and the Rise of the Herons UMak Annual Report, 50th Anniversary Edition. This was actually presented during the Taiwan benchmarking visit by the University of Makati on July 3 to 7, 2023. So this is our set of tenacious 10. First, programs range from senior high school, technical, vocational, professional, baccalaureate to graduate programs, including a law school, primarily addressing the needs of the city. University of Makati stands out amongst local universities in the country. It is potentially becoming at par with higher education institutions in the Philippines. Second, evidence of quality as a way of life in UMak, not just in education, but in systems and processes. Branding is adhered upon, most especially on social media and communications management. Quality education is manifested by exemplary passing rates in national licensure examinations and bar examinations, of course. Government academe industry partnerships amplify the outcomes in terms of practice readiness and employability of graduates. That's number 3. Fourth, holistic student services to cover for extracurricular activities and mental wellness. Fifth, research and extension agenda alignment with the city and with the programs or disciplines' expected outcomes. Sixth, research publication of the university is indexed in the Andrew Gonzalez Philippine Citation Index. Seventh, excellent facilities and equipment in the laboratories for allied health, arts, sports, animation, information, and computing sciences. 8, flexible learning, particularly hybrid modality, optimizing on-site learning with digital pedagogy. 9th, our move to apply for institutional recognition by the National Commission on Higher Education to expand opportunities for growth and development as a higher education institution of the Philippines. And 10th, cultivating an internationalization perspective which would open to more opportunities for our stakeholders. We are now, in addition to that WURI recognition, we are a member, as mentioned previously, of the United Nations Academic Impact. We also considered reviewing the excerpts from the public forum during the search for the UMak president on April 28, 2023, held at the 5th floor of the University of Makati. Professor Elixir C. Ramos and of course Professor Ederson D.T. Tapia had these headlines during the said presidential forum. First, UMak as the first look to be listed in the world rankings. Second, UMak as research arm and think tank of the city. UMak to offer quality-assured, innovative, unique programs which are interdisciplinary, needs-driven, and fosters digitalization. UMak to further strengthen government-academic industry partnerships along teaching learning, research, extension, production, or resource generation, and employability. And for UMak to embark on internationalization, moving beyond home-based internationalization. So these are the very essence of their vision and mission for the University of Makati during the said forum. We also considered, of course, the proceedings from our annual planning conference held on August 9 to 11, 2023, and of course, our annual University Convocation 2023, August 18, 2023. The direction setting of our university president, current university president, Dr. Elixir C. Ramos. First, to achieve 100% employability of graduates, evidence-based. Next, for the university as the first look in the country to be listed in the world rankings. Third, academic excellence to be a top priority because our population would be consisting of more non-Makati than Makati residents. Revision of admission policies, more stringent retention policies or standards for certain programs. And the possibility of having UMak as academic complex for the city of Makati. And of course, the non-negotiable to put the right people on the bus. Purposeful, proficient, and persevering people. The will to transform as one tribe of herons. The very theme of this event says we can only achieve global excellence through institutional synergy. So we need to behave as one tribe of herons, have a strategic vision to achieve what we want to achieve. Second, results and discussion. The results of the alignment or the gap analysis. Vision 2000 mapped with goals, core values, marks of a true UMak Heron graduates, institutional outcomes, critical success factors, and the new vision of Makati. In the interest of time, I will just be sharing the first set of gap analysis for the vision and mission, and then the other essentials as mentioned. So, mapping vision and mission versus the goals. Again, those who are doing multitasking, you can just set your eyes first on the screen and read through the vision, mission versus the goals that we have, current goals that we have at the university. The next one, vision, mission versus our existing core values. Vision 2000 versus the core values that we have. Core values of uniqueness, modesty, adaptability, and kindness. Do they align with the Vision 2000 or our current vision mission? Next, vision mission. Is this aligned with the marks of a true UMak Heron graduate? What are the marks? As mentioned, humble and service-oriented, engaging and mentally equipped, resilient with bravery in adversities, optimistic with global competence, noble and morally upright professionals, sincere with a sense of responsibility. Do this align with the Vision 2000? What we have now, since we have adopted OBE as an institution, we have the UMak Institutional Learning Outcomes, professional and global competence, communication and collaboration, innovation and creativity, information and communications technology competence, social and ethical responsibility. Do they align with the Vision 2000? Vision Mission 2000 with UMak's organizational outcome and major final outputs from the city. Organizational outcomes, quality education for all, Makati known locally and internationally in sporting events, and MFOs, academic services, advanced and higher education services, TechVoc, and educational training services, livelihood and MSMEs development, and then general administrative services. And then, of course, Vision, Mission 2000, with a new vision of the City of Makati using the SMART approach. Now, this is the summary and highlights for the first one, Vision, Mission, and Goals. The Vision Mission emphasizes on students or graduates of residents of Makati becoming highly competent professionals and skilled workers. Goals 1, 2, and 3 emphasize on Center of Excellence programs, the goals that we have. Faculty development, research, and extension. Vision Mission aligns with goals 4 and 5 to become the preferred supplier of market and industry-specific professionals and skilled employees for Makati-based industries, and to help ensure 100% employability of all graduates. So we can say that they're somewhat aligned. There is a little alignment, okay? Vision and core values. Vision Mission emphasizes graduates as productive citizens and IT-enabled professionals, highly competent with good moral values and desirable personality development. And then our core values are uniqueness, modesty, adaptability, and kindness. So not aligned. Vision, mission, and marks of a true Heron graduate. So in the same manner, the VM emphasized graduates as productive citizens and IT-enabled professionals, and so on. And then the marks of a Heron graduate are humble, service-oriented, engaging, and mentally equipped. Sincere, up to sincere with a sense of responsibility. So we can say that this is not aligned. And then the vision, mission, and organizational outcome and major final outputs from the city. It is aligned in terms of semantics and the context then. However, this needs to be clarified or updated based on our current context. Then for the vision, mission, and new vision of Makati, the SMART approach, well, evidently, this is not aligned. So we did the same process for the goals with the other essentials as mentioned, the core values with the other essentials, the marks of a true UMak Heron graduate with the other essentials, UMak institutional learning outcomes with the rest of the essentials, and then UMak's organizational outcome and major final outputs from the city. So the third part of the results and discussion, key themes generated from the SOAR analysis by representative stakeholders. So you can go over the highlighted ones. These are our strengths based on the SOAR analysis. Built-in processes and flow of operations, but kindly take note of the sub-themes under it, because that is very important for contextualization. Security, safety, and health, facilities, equipment, and physical infrastructure, technology and innovation, good collaboration or communication within and with the city, faculty and employees development, curriculum and instruction, research, extension, strong linkages or networking, good characteristics of faculty and administrative employees, students and student services, leadership, and then feedback and outputs assessment. Organizing all of these themes, we now have the categories of purpose, people, processes, resources, and then products and outputs. So our strengths along purpose, our three main purposes, trifocal, so research, extension, and instruction. So our strengths along curriculum and instruction, our curriculum design base, OBE, innovative customized programs. On research, our strengths are research policies, publication incentives, historical and community research undertakings. For extension, we have targeted community extension activities, cultural mapping, and then psychosocial services. For our people, our students, our faculty, our employees, and our leaders, so good characteristics of faculty and administrative employees, surfacing out our good customer service, espousing excellence, dedicated, competent faculty members. For our students, students' academic performance and skills, strict student selection, student organizations. And then for the leadership, proactive, helping, developmental, empowered student leaders. So the leadership cascades down to our student leaders. Processes, referring to built-in processes and flow of operations. So for example, we have academic-related processes under the Office of the Registrar, data privacy and security policies framework, and then streamlined key processes, such as, for example, admission of our students. Good collaboration, communication within and with the city, so proactive, collaborative collaboration, consultation with stakeholders, key offices, and then support to faculty and students. Under security, safety, and health, we have data privacy and security policies, compliance, records management, and then overall healthy environment. And then faculty and employees development program, we have the publication incentives surfacing out, and then efficient student services, particularly having a very good student support services. And then for the resources, surfacing out are our facilities, equipment and physical infrastructure, technology and innovation, flexible learning modality, learning management system. And then our products and our outputs, we have as a form of feedback and outputs assessment, We have the results of our academic and licensure examination performance, and then program compliance, and then strong linkages and networking for affiliate and professional organizations, and continuous partnership with industry partners. Now, articulating all of this based on the organizational elements model by Roger Kaufman. So we have the means, particularly inputs and processes. We have strengths along this, and then we have strengths also along our products. What are our products? The accomplishments of our students, our offices, our colleges, and our institutes. And then the outputs would denote our results as an educational institution, as University of Makati. So we can say that these are macro results. Products are micro results, outputs are macro results, and we have yet really to work on the outcome, although yes, we have 100% employability. We produce highly employable graduates, but based on the proceedings a while back and the presentation a while back, so there is still a need to further establish the very outcome, which means to say that we need to go beyond the organization's major results or macro results and go to mega results or the outcomes which are now affecting societal level. The societal level, I should say. So these are our opportunities. Please go through also the opportunities that surfaced out for us as a local university, given the context that we now have an institutional recognition and the context that we have been doing a lot of we have done a lot of accomplishments along this line. So these are the opportunities, our areas for improvement, our focal points for growth, further growth as an institution. So organizing all of this, again, as purpose, people, processes, resources, products, and outputs. For the purpose, what should we do still? We need to have more robust research undertakings and publication. Redefining our commitment to regulatory and accreditation standards of all of our academic programs. Leveraging alumni networks under people. We need to strengthen alumni network and engagement. We need to tap our students' talents and industry demands. Employee development still, particularly as an example, to have a strengthened faculty mobility and optimized personnel development. Under processes, collaboration with the local community and businesses, and then continuous improvement, or the quest for continuous improvement. Resources, areas for improvement on network and linkages in the government, regulation, and industry. Technological advancements, UMak state-of-the-art facilities and equipment procurement plan. And then for the products and outputs, we already have internationalization initiatives done, but we can work further on curriculum and skills development, having foreign students, students training, major crucial functions of internationalization to be further explored. And then leveraging, of course, the institutional recognition of UMak, and then banking on the UMak distinction, the UMak brand, capitalizing on our student output, alumni branding, and social media channels. So these are our areas of improvement or for growth as an institution. Now, translating this again to OEM, so we have opportunities for improvement along means, inputs and processes, and then products, our internationalization initiatives, and then outputs. We have already an output along banking on UMak distinction, and then institutional recognition of UMak. So for the outcome that we need or we must be able to fulfill just the same would be fulfilling 100% employability of graduates that result to social progress of the families of these graduates, the city and the country, plus impact on achievement of UN SDGs along with academic excellence in both local and global standpoints. So the opportunities that actually surfaced out could be our critical success factors in achieving our Vision 2025. So for our aspirations and results, you can go over this. These are our aspirations and results as a University of Makati. Given our respondents, the different offices, the different colleges and institutes. It is also classified according to people, purpose, resources, and processes. Okay? So you can go through all of this. Summarizing everything with respect to opportunities for all of us, with regards to our aspirations and results. So we have these aspirations and results. For people, highly employable, industry-ready, and overall academic success. For our students. And then for our employees, health, wellness, security and safety, career pathing, recognition, specialized training opportunities. For our purpose, we aspire for excellence, culture of research and innovation, UMak as the research and extension arm of the city. For process, we aspire for, we want results on streamlining of processes, digitization, efficiency, strategic planning, continuous improvement. And for resources, we aspire for upgrading, digitization, linkages, and networking. All of these aspirations and results are anchored or are with internationalization and technology perspectives. The last one, and I think a very important part of the results and discussion would be to present the proposed strategic planning framework for the University of Makati for 2025. So based on the research process, the scientific process that was conducted, we are now here presenting to all of you the working strategic planning framework for UMak for 2025. So this is the draft of the vision and mission and the version 1 from the draft. So vision, UMak, where sustainable and integrated quality education means social mobility intersecting with excellence in both local and global standpoints. So version 1 of this draft could be, by 2035, the University of Makati shall be the local university where sustainable and integrated quality education means social mobility intersecting with excellence in both local and global standpoints. So the think global and act local mindset. Global standards of education, contextualized or landing on local context. And then mission, what do we really do? To develop industry-ready practitioners and leaders of the city and the country with resilience, innovativeness, social responsibility, and passion for excellence through quality, fit for purpose, local, and global education. So from the vision and mission, we have the core values of resilience, innovativeness, social responsibility, and excellence. So RISE, or RISE, would be the rise of the Heron's recall. So madali pong tandaan. So RISE, rise of the Heron's recall. Now the proposed goals along this line are as follows. 3 main goals: to produce impactful research and sustainable extension services for the socio-economic growth of the communities in Makati, Philippines, and the world. So that is for social responsibility. It aligns with social responsibility. To become the builder of sectoral and industry practitioners and leaders in Makati, Philippines, and the world. That's resilience. To be the center of excellence for UMak distinct, local, professional, and skills-based programs. That would be for excellence or passion for excellence. Innovativeness cuts across all of these 3 goals. So with regards to the alignment of the RISE core values with the existing core values of the university and the marks of a true Heron graduate, and the institutional learning outcomes, or the brand of UMak graduates, we have social responsibility, covering now kindness and modesty, sincere with a sense of responsibility, humble and service-oriented, and then the institutional learning outcomes of advocating for research initiatives that ensure impact to society, organizing community extension programs that are people-centered and sustainable through its networks of NGO partners, communities, and volunteers. And then innovativeness, core value, which covers for uniqueness and creativity. The institutional learning outcome is creating innovative and socially impactful projects. For the core value of resilience, this would now cover for adaptability. Mark of a true Heron graduate will be covered, resilient with bravery in adversities. And the institutional learning outcome would be navigates creatively in the disruptive, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, or DVUCA world by being visionary, understandable, clear, agile, digital, and diverse, or the VUCAD. Excellence now as a core value addresses the marks of a true Heron graduate on being optimistic with global competence, noble and morally upright, engaging and mentally equipped. So the institutional learning outcome now exemplifies the culture of excellence in words and deeds by adhering to global standards. So aligning now these core values, institutional outcomes, vision, mission, core values, outcomes, we now have the programs, the projects. So how can we achieve the vision? So make this bite-sized, take this bite-sized. And so we have programs, projects, and this also need to be aligned. So for social responsibility, we have research support program, community extension, school-based development program. Under projects, we have research culture development project, and then the colleges and institutes social responsibility and extension projects. Under innovativeness, we have image building and goodwill, institutional marketing, publicity initiatives as projects, and then resilience, linkages, and partnership program. So we have partnership and networking initiatives, and then ASEAN and global touchstones. And then for excellence, we have these programs: university academic programs and development, student assessment enhancement program, facilities and equipment development and acquisition program, general administration and support program. And you have numerous projects along this, from accreditation and certification projects, curricular review, outcomes assessment and planning, down to personal services. Okay. So finally, aligning also with outcomes measurement, we have these ones. So outcomes assessment based on our QOMR. So this will be revisited during the November 23 and 24 planning event there. So we have already incorporated some, like for example, the ASEAN and global touchstones, global benchmarking visits. So in conclusion, Vision 2000 has reached its fruition. Gaps were also found, hence the need to advance the vision to match the current context and direction of the university. Vision 2025 Essentials, as product of a research process, is proposed as a strategic planning framework. For the recommendations, we only have two very important recommendations: validation by the respondents together with representative students, faculty, and industry. And then, of course, this has to follow a standard and formal process of approval. So thank you. Thank you very much, Planning and Development Center and 2023 Planning Secretariat, Center for University Research, Office of the Vice President for Planning and Research Management Committee, Dr. Amelia Paje, Divine Posadas, and of course, J.R. Grate. Thank you to everyone who have contributed their thoughts and ideas on this venture. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much to VP Painanette Carriaga for that comprehensive, thoughtful, and across the board, I must say, across the board presentation and proposal. You actually made it quite umbrella and bite-sized all in one go. I know it was a lot to take in for a lot of us in the audience, but I think this would be shared, hopefully. But for the meantime, I understand we might have some questions. We can, in the interest of time, we can accommodate two for today, for the meantime. But please feel free to also send the rest of your questions to CUR if there are questions that we wish to also give to VP Net. While we type in, to give you time to type in your questions, I also would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of our next speaker, Engineer Merlina Panganiban, who's been watching, and also all the viewers and participants from the City Government of Makati. Good morning po sa inyong lahat, and thank you for joining. So again, please feel free to type in your questions in the chat box. Or if you're more comfortable, these could also be sent to the CURT or perhaps directly to OBPTR if we are more comfortable with that too. Okay, so checking with the tech team if we do have questions. Okay, so I think because it's umbrella and bite-sized all in one go, oh, there we are. We have one question. So allowing the tech team to also generate it for us. So how would we enable fellow LUCs in the country to embark on the path towards innovative education towards our pursuit of a competitive reputation in the global academic community? So very much synergy related. How would we enable fellow LUCs in the country to embark on the path towards innovative education towards our pursuit of a competitive reputation in the global academic community?
I think that's a very tough question. You know why? Because we're really on this stage of us in the University of Makati, really embarking to internationalization and really soaring heights when it comes to global standpoints. So I think what we could do as a LUC and as a University of Makati is for us to engage more through organizations to foster collaborations also, professional organizations, and fostering collaboration with our fellow looks. And influencing also our fellow looks to travel, to start traveling the same path as what we have, as what we want to travel now as a University of Makati.
Thank
So,
you. Oh, sorry.
I hope I answered that question, Ma'am Camille, correctly.
So thank you for that, VP Net. For me, I think it did answer the question, and I hope Sir Edric, if I'm correct, that was you who said the question, that very much provided the necessary answers. But if you have follow-up, just feel free to send it to CUR.
Yeah.
Okay, Sir Edric actually confirmed it did answer the question. So more synergy. So
Yes.
to be in line with the theme of CUR's Research Congress, more synergy and partnerships. All right, so any more questions, or we could proceed to our next speaker? All right. Again, inviting everyone, just in case you have other questions, it could be forwarded to CUR or directly to the OVPPR office in relation to VP Net Cariaga's talk. So to continue with the theme of synergy, we heard from the Vice President for Planning and Research of the University of Makati. And this time, we move forward towards that synergy and bring it towards the City of Makati. So from the Urban Development Department, please allow me to introduce our next speaker. She completed her college degree in industrial engineering at Adamson University. Her passion for continuous education motivated her to take up MS in Information Management at the Ateneo de Manila University, where she crafted her master's thesis entitled Geographic Information System for Local Government. In 2013, she marked another milestone as she fruitfully earned her doctorate degree in urban and regional planning at the University of the Philippines, Diliman. Further, while pursuing her PhD education, she successfully obtained her licensure as Certified Environmental Planner in 2011. She started her professional career as an industrial engineer in a company engaged in the manufacture and export of rattan furniture. In her pursuit for self-development and career growth, she landed a job in government service where she continuously was promoted from ranks. At present, she is the City Urban Development Officer Department Head of the Urban Development Department, City Government of Makati. Being equipped with knowledge and educational achievements significantly helped her carry out her current post. A dedicated public servant for more than 35 years, he specializes in the areas of urban planning and development, information technology, and geographical information system. Let us all welcome Engineer Marlena Panganiban. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you for that introduction. Please allow me to share my screen. Wait.
We can see it so far, although it's
But
not been
yeah.
full view. Thank you.
Yes, I know. I can see. I cannot see where to. Wait lang.
All right. Giving time for Engineer Panganiban to work on her screen. Thank you for everyone's patience. Again, thanking also the 224 participants who joined us online. Thank you for, again, upping your research acumen this morning and joining the 6th Research Congress. There are those of us who actually joined in person still. Engineer Concepcion, thank you so much for coming in person. Professor Jennifer, a while ago, was here also with us, along with Dr. Edita Bayona. I'm correct in seeing Ma'am Jennifer Laluna of ULLC also. Thank you so much. And
Is this,
go ahead, ma'am.
is this okay already? I think okay.
It's
So,
still not in full view, ma'am.
oh,
Apologies.
wait.
Right. Let's give more time also. Thanking everyone once again for the patience. And for added incentive, should we have questions, our CUR team will be providing bamboo ball pens and bamboo pens. And they're bringing it forward so that I can show everyone. So I think several in the audience got this yesterday. So please don't hesitate to chat away. I think we are now in full view of the presentation, Engineer Panganiban.
So it's okay already?
That's correct,
But,
ma'am.
okay. So thank you for that introduction. But wait, is there something wrong with my audio or okay?
We can hear you perfectly well po.
Okay. So the President of
See you po.
UMak, Dr. Ramos, guest, faculty and staff, students, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. Thank you for inviting the Urban Development Department, or UDD, to present the research agenda of the City Government of Makati. At the end of my presentation and discussion, you will be able to understand the new Makati vision for the year 2024 to 2034 as the main basis of all research agenda for the City of Makati. You will be presented with a list of possible research topics to pursue based on the Makati vision, as well as other sources of research topics. Research is an indispensable aspect of the city government of Makati's institutional operations. It is noteworthy that most of the city's departments and offices have already established their own research and planning units, and the University of Makati Research Center is a prime example of this. Additionally, the research policy of the city government has been incorporated in the Comprehensive Development Plan, encompassing various research and development programs. One of the most significant initiatives in advancing the research policy was the passage of City Ordinance number 96-24. This ordinance provides financial assistance to University of Makati personnel for their dissertations and theses. In the next planning years 2024 to 2034, the City of Government will make sure that all research initiatives of the departments and offices of the City Government of Makati must be anchored or shall contribute to the achievement of the vision of Makati City. These initiatives shall include the plans, programs, projects, activities, policies, and research agenda. Thus, we encourage private sector, civil society organizations, and private academic institutions to do the same. But first, I heard a while ago the first presentation was this comprehensive evaluation of the accomplishment. How far has UMak accomplished its vision? So anyway, I'll just give definition of a vision for the purposes of for the info of the others. So it's a vision a vision is an image of a desired state in the future. It serves as a driving force that moves the organization towards the achievement of a common development direction. It provides the overall guidance and focus in the succeeding stages of the planning process. In other words, if you know where you are going, you will know how best to get there as well as how far or near you are to that destination at any point in time. Our vision is on top of everything we do in the city. All our actions, plans, policies, ordinances, and mandated functions are all anchored or linked in the vision. In this slide, you can see how our primary plans and policies are linked in the vision. As shown on the screen, this is the planning framework of the city. We are all guided by this framework. After more than 2 decades, yes, that's correct. The stakeholders of Makati City crafted the draft new Makati vision, which is 2024 to 2034, on May 29th of this year. The crafting and finalization of the new vision has undergone a series of consultation before it was finally approved by the Sangguniang Panlungsod on September 22, 2023 through City Ordinance number 2023-213. This is the new vision of Makati, of course, with a time frame of 10 years from 2024 to 2034. I will not read this anymore. So anyway, this will be distributed to the public as well as in the social media. And highlighted in the blue are the elements of the vision that we will discuss in the succeeding slides. So the vision has 6 elements, which these elements can be translated as research topics that describe the role of Makati in Southeast Asia and its desired state as a habitat of Makaticense in terms of 5 development sectors or can be used as research areas. Each of these elements will be discussed in the next slides. The first element focuses on Makati, making Makati known as the leading financial hub, not only in the country, but in Southeast Asia as well. This can be done by improving business traction and retention in the city by promoting employment opportunities, entrepreneurship, and businesses through business-friendly policies and the development of a skilled and educated workforce. Additionally, collaboration with international financial institutions or organizations that foster exchange, innovation, and opportunities for economic and financial growth is crucial. Suggested topics for this descriptor are as follows. Study on improving business of not only attracting them, but also retaining them for the longer period of time, or better, forever. Development of business-friendly policies, development of strategies for skilled and educated workforce that also include employability of the graduates of Makati educational institutions, collaboration with international financial institutions and organizations for knowledge exchange, innovation and opportunities, and the identification of strategies to combat the impact of economic shocks and global economic trends and possible measures that Makati may adopt. The next element, Makati aspires to foster a community where citizens are secure, self-reliant, and empowered by excellent and inclusive public service. To achieve this element of the vision, the city has a crucial role in creating a secure living environment while supporting economic growth. It must implement programs that provide a conducive environment for entrepreneurship, skills development, and job creation, while addressing the needs of all demographics and ensuring that public services are accessible and responsive to the entire community. The city must establish published policies and programs promoting inclusivity, cultural diversity, and social cohesion as it acknowledges these factors to be integral to building a resilient and thriving community. Equally important in achieving this vision is identifying the impact of social enterprises in fostering inclusive economic growth and empowering communities. A multifaceted, sustainable local economy is a dynamic and resilient economic system that fosters a balanced and inclusive development approach. It incorporates various dimensions to ensure long-term viability, environmental responsibility, and social inclusivity. It is the city's holistic approach to promote to integrating economic, social, and environmental consideration. Proposed research topics ideas are as follows. A study on the existing economic conditions considering the following factors: poverty incidence and unemployment rate, ease of doing business and economic dynamism, business attraction and retention, and increasing the number of saver centers and cooperatives established and operating, among others. Impact of globalization on Makati's economy, roles of small and medium-sized enterprises in Makati's economy, including the barriers and enablers of SME development, and as well as study on diversifying the local economy and innovative financing mechanism. It is also a top priority of the city government to make its environment climate adaptive and disaster resilient. To help the government achieve this future, the research may consider the following topics: assessing the effectiveness of environment education program in promoting sustainable actions among stakeholders, study on the economic and environmental impacts of implementing the renewable energy approach and its implication for the development of Makati, impact of Makati City's environmental programs and policies, study on the disaster vulnerabilities as well as disaster risk assessment. Robust and green infrastructure aims to provide state-of-the-art infrastructure facilities with distinct and environment-friendly designs to sustain the continuous delivery of the highest level of basic and social and economic services. Areas for research and development include exploration and application of sustainable modes of transportation such as electric transport, integration of renewable resources in infrastructure such as solar energy, rain harvesting systems, green roads, among others. Development of strategies that will minimize negative impacts on the environment, and development of policy and regulatory frameworks in promoting improving green infrastructure, as well as incentives that will encourage private and public sectors to invest in environmentally sustainable projects. Technology-driven governance further enables the city government to govern the people and stakeholders in a transparent and transformative manner to build trust and mutually harness each other's resources and assets. This may include further studies on how the city can improve its level of digital transformation, develop strategies that will improve the transparency and efficiency in delivering services, and assess the impact of digital governance in increasing the engagement or participation and satisfaction of all the stakeholders. In addition to the city's new vision, researchers may use the other existing development plans of the city government to identify possible topic areas for academic discussions. These include the mother plans of the city, the comprehensive land use plan, or in short, CLUP, and comprehensive development plans, or CDP. All local government units in the Philippines are required to have this to have an updated plans of these two mother plans, as well as other sectoral plans that are mandated by law to local governments units. And these are uh, and the study on land use and management are exciting research topics, as can be um, in fact, many students from different academic institutions around the country are using Makati as their study area, specifically on land use and urban development. Urban development. The comprehensive land use plan and the comprehensive development plan are the two um, well-sought documents from our department. Almost every researchers are requesting these two plans. The CLUP, which is this is a long-term plan, which is 10 years minimum, is a document embodying specific proposals for guiding and regulating the growth and or development of a city or municipality, while the Comprehensive Development Plan or CDP is a document that pertains to the multi-sectoral plan formulated at the city or municipality level, which embodies the vision, sectoral goals, objectives, development strategies, and programs within the term of the LGU officials and the medium term of and the medium term. We are currently updating our CLUP and CDP at this time. All LGUs, as I mentioned a while ago, are mandated to formulate around around 30, around or more than 30 or more than other sectoral plans. And these plans are also good source of possible or are also good sources of possible research topics. But of the 30 listed required plans, 24 are applicable to Makati, and those that are highlighted in red in the list are not applicable to Makati, since we don't have fisheries, agriculture and fisheries, coconut, forests, as well as the other areas, ancestral domain and coastal management, we don't have here in Makati. And for the plans that are applicable to Makati, you may access this through our website at www.makati.gov.ph, or you may coordinate directly with concerned departments and offices of the city. Before I end, I would like to leave this quote from Kurt Lewin. He was a German-American social psychologist and known for his theory that human behavior is a function of psychological environment. He said that no research without action, no action without research. It's best, it's just my comment, it's best if the results of our research can be implemented to improve the lives of our Makatizens, or at least it can be used as an input to other researches and studies. Don't make our study research be a simple display or decoration in our bookshelves. Before I go, I just want to share with you my experience when I was doing my dissertation. The best advice I got from one of my mentors was that not to treat my dissertation as the work of my life. It's a common mistake to do this. The most important is to get the diploma, and after that, you all have the time to explore the work of your life. But of course, to get the diploma, you have to complete your dissertation or thesis. As an inspiration or word of wisdom for your research, select or choose a topic that you have available data and that you can access the data, or you may be able to generate the data yourself. Just remember, data is crucial to any research undertaking. And this is where my presentation ends, and thank you for listening.
So checking with Engineer Pangaliban if she can accommodate a question or two.
Yeah, yes, if you do have question.
Thank you so much, Engineer. All right, so inviting the audience, I think our Center for University Research has also been inviting earlier. If you wish to ask questions, we could put it in the chat box. So please don't hesitate to type in your questions. But I think to also echo what Engineer Panganiban said earlier, this would be shared to everyone and it's also available in the UMak city government website rather. So we can also access this. But I think at the same time, in the process of really aligning and working together to synergize. And as VP Net also earlier said, we do want to be the research arm as well of the city government of Makati, and that echoes also what Engineer Panganiban would want for us to endeavor. We could really make sure that some of our research outputs are aligned towards what the city has as a direction for the next 10 years. So checking once again with our tech team if there are questions that we wish to, there is one, correct? Am I correct? So let me go ahead and check that. Oh, sorry. No questions for the
Yes, ma'am.
meantime. So I think, Engineer, they're still processing the 10-year agenda, more or less, that you presented. But thanking you very much. I think for me personally, and on behalf of everyone from our office, also from the Center for Planning and Development, it's very good to hear you also speak for the University of Makati. Oh, there is one question, and I hope you can still indulge, Engineer Panganiban. It's from our Vice President for Planning and Research, whom you listened to earlier.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Magandang
Yes
umaga
po.
po. And,
Good morning.
morning po. Apologies po kasi nag-extend ako, ma'am. Sorry
Okay
po.
lang po. Sige.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
With regards po to the research agenda po, or of course, the new research agenda of the City of Makati, stemming from the new vision and mission of the city. Based po doon kanina sa aming direction or sa gusto naming puntahan ngayon as University of Makati, ma'am, may I also solicit po your insights or your inputs as to the alignment po of what we have as essentials for the university vis-a-vis with what you have din po doon sa city po, ma'am. Sa inyong new vision, mission, and then research agenda po.
Actually, when I was listening to your presentation, marami ng elements yung sa inyo na nandoon na rin sa vision as well as sa descriptors ng vision ng New Makati vision. But then, since you will be doing your planning PRPW this year, perhaps you might want to look again, or you would like to align, since yung vision na bago, yun na yung talagang not only for the city government but for the city. Yun na yung official na vision natin. So tignan lang natin kung alin doon ang mag-a-apply sa UMak. Baka kailangan i-align din natin yung yung vision ng UMak doon sa vision ng Makati in general. So
Thank you
Yeah.
very much po.
thank you then.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Engineer Panganiban and VP Net. Do we have any more questions? Checking from the chat team. If none, we could proceed to our awarding of appreciation to both Engineer Panganiban and to VP Net. So we could proceed. Thank you for the go signal. So, Engineer Panganiban, we would like to once again extend our thanks to you for the time that you have given the University of Makati's 6th Research Congress. Thank you for sharing the city's research agenda for the next 10 years. And on that note, we present to you our Certificate of Appreciation. Please allow me to read. The University of Makati presents this Certificate of Appreciation to Engineer Panganiban for the invaluable knowledge imparted as resource speaker during the 6th Research Congress with the theme Achieving Global Excellence through Institutional Synergy, conducted on October 11 and 12, 2023 at the University of Makati, given this 12th day of October. Signed, Alexorci Ramos, PhD, CESEP President, Maria Faye Ninette M. Cariaga, RPH, MSPH, PhD, Vice President for Planning and Research. Once again, our sincerest thanks to you, ma'am.
Welcome po. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm not sure if you can hear our round of applause here, but definitely those who are with me are
Really
really
good.
clapping it out. I also would like to take this opportunity to proceed with also giving our certificate to the Vice President for Planning and Research for also her presentation earlier. So, we will do it in person, all right. So, sorry. Okay. So, in joining Professor De Los Santos to, okay. So as requesting the team to assist us in bringing them together, or right. So as they prepare, please allow me to also read the certificate of appreciation is presented to Maria Faye Ninette Cariaga for her invaluable knowledge imparted as resource speaker during the 6th Research Congress with the theme Achieving Global Excellence through Institutional Synergy, conducted on October 11 and 12, 2023 at the University of Makati, given this 12th day of October 2023. Signed, Alexorci Ramos, PhD, CESE, and Florante E. De Los Santos from CUR. Thank you very much, ma'am, and Professor De Los Santos for being gung-ho and also doing it on stage. So we will proceed to our next speaker, and as he prepares, please allow me to introduce him. He is currently the director of the Center for University Research. His research interests include philosophy, particularly Wittgenstein and Wittgenstein, am I pronouncing that correctly? Student services and counseling. He is a licensed professional teacher and a registered guidance counselor. He is a certified peer reviewer by the Publons Academy Web of Science, and he is a member of the Philippine Integrated Counselors Association of the Philippines Incorporated, or PCAP, the Philippine Guidance Counseling Association Incorporated, or PGCA, and the Philippine National Philosophical Research Society Incorporated, or PRS, and the Reading Association of the Philippines. Please help me welcome Director Florante E. De Los Santos. Sir.
Hello, good morning, everyone. It's 11 o'clock almost in my watch. And supposedly the first presenter will be at 11:10. Am I right? So I will make sure that I think I am challenged now to make it quick because I respect time so much. So allow me to start right away. So So 6 things I will do here. Number 1 is to review documents relevant to crafting the university research agenda. 2, present the city government agenda provided by the Urban Development Department, which was presented earlier. So I don't need to do that, I guess. 3, tell you what UMak researchers have written in the last 3 years. 4, compare the UDD agenda and the UMak research outputs in the last 3 years. 5, show what makes UMak distinct. And then 6, express what the university research agenda should be or may look like. Okay. So we have first document, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Basically, this is all about the challenge for us to think about the needs of future generations and to take action to protect the planet. All right? So there are 17 goals. I will no longer cite them one by one because I am in haste. All right? I will just be presenting. It's all about poverty, hunger, healthy lives, inclusivity, equity, quality education, gender, etc., up to 17. All right? But I would like to point out number 11, make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. All right. And then the next document is the Harmonized National Research and Development Agenda 2022 to 2028. All right. So it is divided into 5 sectors. Basically, you have basic research, agriculture, aquatic and natural resources, health, industry, energy, and emerging technology, disaster risk reduction, and climate change adaptation. So each one, I will no longer be discussing them one by one because as I pointed out, I have to finish it right away. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, you have it there, health research and development. 3, you have agriculture, aquatic, natural resources. 4, you have industry, energy, and emerging technology. And then you have 5, disaster risk reduction and climate change. And then the third document is the National Unified Health Research Agenda from 2023 to 2028. It is basically divided into 6 thematic areas, which are on the screen. All right, I will no longer read them one by one. Okay, so number 1, research to enhance and extend healthy lives. You have all the lists under that, including mental health. You have holistic approaches to health and wellness. Okay, I think there is one presentation later on about halal in food, okay? Next, you have health resiliency, where you have one of which is climate change. And then you have global competitiveness and innovation in health. And then you have research in equity and health, including disability, gender, indigenous peoples, etc., etc. And then the 4th document is the National Higher Education Research Agenda 2, where you have, it is divided into 4 themes. You have, for example, agenda number 1 about improving HEIs towards international competitiveness. 2, enhancing research productivity of HEIs. 3, generating new knowledge. And then 4, promoting and facilitating dissemination and utilization of research outputs. All right. So for example, in number 1, you have education and education management. You have all this. I'm sorry if I will not be able to explain them one by one. All right. And then you have up to number 8. And then number 5 document is the NCCA, the 12-point research agenda. Okay. It tackles, for example, audience reception studies, audience analysis, indigenous knowledge systems and practices, local histories, just like what the College of Arts and Letters the faculty are doing now, all right, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And then you have the 12-point agenda that needed to be addressed according to them, yeah, like the Philippine creative industries, the impact of new technologies on the arts, the needs and preferences of audiences, local histories, preservation, and cultural traditions, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, we have the 6th document, the Basic Education Research Agenda, divided into 5 themes, areas. You have teaching and learning, curriculum and assessment, learners and their needs, governance and leadership, resources and management. All right. So I will no longer go into details on these documents. And then number 7 that we have listened to Engineer Panganiban earlier. You have the Urban Development Department's City Government of Makati's research agenda. Okay? Yeah. So the topics that were given to us by the city government, the suggested topics, if we will put it in a word cloud, so you have this, Makati City Study Research. You have the tree map, okay, of the same. And then we also base from the UMak Foresight Conference, where we have the Makadiyos, Makabuluhan, Makabayan themes. And then, of course, we have considered all the research outputs submitted to the Center for University Research in the last 3 years. So these are the research outputs, the titles submitted to the center. You have students, Makati, and all these things. Then you have the tree map, okay? And then when we compare the UDD, the Urban Development Department's suggested titles or topics for research and the UMak research titles in the last 3 years, we have this, no? If we will analyze them, compare them, we will have these themes, no? So, to look into possible research themes guided by the United Nations and HERA 2 and the existing policies of the University of Makati. So we have the UDD's suggested topics, and then through a coding and categorization process, the top 10 keywords are Makati, study, city, research, development, government, data, barangay, services, and management. CUR has analyzed the research outputs, as pointed out, to be exact from July of 2020 up to the present, and a total of 528 research outputs. The top 10 keywords: students, university, learning, Makati, program, development, management, education, study, and technology. So basically, if you will look at both, you have the same themes, no? What they have in common are Makati, study, development, and management. In other words, what we have been writing here at UMak generally addresses what the city government suggested for us to write about. That's my point. On the other hand, there are gaps, no? Gaps that we might want to consider writing about, like traffic, transportation, bullying, CCTV technology, evacuation, geo-governance, housing, incentives, parking, pedestrian, accidents, archiving, banking, bikeways, natural disasters like earthquake, equality, exploitation, homelessness, museum, and parenting. Okay. Therefore, based on all the documents reviewed, okay, and keeping in mind what our community, the UMak community, can actually deliver and potentially do with our resources and manpower, the University Research Agenda 2023 to 2026 calls for research undertakings and innovation that focus on urban challenges and emerging urban concerns. These will generally include urban health, wellness, social welfare, heritage writing, sustainable urban management and development, education in the city, emerging concerns like aging, exploitation, homelessness in the city, and other city-related research intents, which are all mentioned in the comparative analysis results. Obviously, this is what makes our university distinct. What is that? It is that we are a locally funded university, okay, and that we are located in a city, the city government of Makati, and now we have the city of Taguig, right, based from the Supreme Court's decision. Anyhow, that is what makes us distinct. Locally funded and located in a city, okay? Therefore, as I pointed out to you earlier, the topics that we should write about have to deal with urban challenges and emerging urban concerns. And it is good that we heard the updates by the UDD, Engineer Panganiban. Thank you so much, because we can easily calibrate all our research topics, focusing, of course, with what I have pointed out here, that it should be focused on urban challenges and all the other concerns of the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor De Los Santos, for your talk this morning
15
and
minutes.
for making it in such a short span of time. But I think you're willing to
course.
share your presentation, of course, just in case they would like to see the details. Likewise, we invite once again the audience, if you wish to ask a question or two. I believe Professor De Los Santos can still accommodate it before we go to the various group presentations that are scheduled for this morning. So similar to earlier, please just type in your questions in the chat box and we will flash it on screen. I'll also help read it for everyone, but please don't hesitate to do so. And while we are giving time for everyone to chat those questions, we hope you have seen the presenters, you have seen the reminders from our CUR team to please stand by and get ready. As also mentioned by Professor De Los Santos earlier, the first presentation should be ongoing by 11. So we are kind of 15 minutes behind schedule on that. But after your question or two, we could proceed to that. So far, no questions yet to your team? All right, so on that note, if that is okay with you also, and I see a thumbs up sign from Professor De Los Santos, we could proceed now to the, oh, there is one, sorry. One question here from Sir Edric Aldrich Jose Espiritu also, I think similar to the one who asked VP Net a question earlier. How can we transcend the interest of research as a discipline guided by the thrusts of UMak? So how can we transcend the interest of research as a discipline guided by the thrusts of UMak?
Yeah, medyo mahirap yung tanong, no? How can we transcend the interests of research as a discipline? I think I need clarification for that, but in my mind, what I would like to say is for everybody, for every person in the University of Makati, students, faculty, to do more and more research, okay? And of course, that the researches have to be aligned with the city government's research agenda and specifically with the agenda of the University of Makati, of course. And of course, we have to follow the rigors of the discipline as well.
Thank you, Professor De Los Santos. And hopefully that answered. Oh, he just wants to put in context that what he meant in terms of the gaps were with the gaps presented yesterday and what is UMAC's effort to fill the void. So I think...
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying it. As I pointed out in my presentation, we really have to fill in the gaps by writing more and more researches. Okay? I'm not saying that we should no longer write about the things that we have already addressed in all our research outputs. What I'm saying is maybe we can also consider addressing all the gaps presented yesterday and all the gaps presented today in my presentation, and of course, all the other suggestions given by the city government of Makati. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again, Professor De Los Santos. I believe Sir Vincent Barcelona has already reiterated that if we do have further questions, we may just send it also directly to CUR. Proceeding now to the various presentations scheduled for this morning. So, apologies. We will still give you your certificate of appreciation, Professor De Los Santos, and this will be flashed on screen. So, but while it's being flashed on screen, we are requesting the first team, our first group of presenters to please stand by. So ready? Are we ready, tech team, for the certificate? All right, so presenting our certificate of appreciation, certificate of appreciation to Professor Florante E. De Los Santos for his invaluable knowledge imparted as resource speaker during the 6th Research Congress with the theme Achieving Global Excellence Through Institutional Synergy, conducted on October 11 and 12, 2023 at the University of Makati. Given this 12th day of October, signed Alexer C. Ramos, PhD, CESE, and Maria Fainanet M. Cariaga, Vice President for Planning and Research. Once again, thank you very much, Professor De Los Santos. So I can move now to the succeeding part, which is really the scheduled presenters. Right, so just a bit of a house rules for all our presenters. The team has been divided into 3 groups. First group is composed of IIHS, ION or ION, COS, and CAL. Second group is CCAPS, CBFS, and CTHM, while the last group is composed of HSU and presenters from CAL. The moderators for the different presentations are the following: Professor Lorna Esquivel, Professor Shirley Amputan, and Professor Jim Carl Primo. Thank you very much for these 3 for being our moderators this morning. They will be assisted by the CUR team for time monitoring. To all presenters, we are requested to remember the following. Each presenter will be given exactly 10 minutes to present their paper. Once called, introduce yourself and your co-authors, if applicable. Then immediately proceed to the paper presentation proper. A 10-minute open forum shall happen after the last presentation of each group. Again, the open forum shall happen after the last presentation of each group. Please be mindful of the time to give equal opportunity for all presenters and for all the topics of discussion. So group 1, please be ready. Allow me to call on the moderator for group 1, Professor Lorna Esquivel.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Do you hear me? Am I audible? Am I audible po? Good morning, everyone.
You're audible, Professor Esquivel.
So I hope everyone is now... Thank you, Ma'am Camille. I hope everyone is now excited to listen and learn from our paper presenters. I am Professor Lorna M. Esquivel from the College of Arts and Letters, and I am honored to be your session moderator for Group 1. So there are 4 papers to be presented for this session, and like what Ma'am Camille have mentioned earlier, each presenters have to introduce themselves and proceed immediately to the paper presentation. So without further ado, let's begin. The first paper is to be presented from the Institute of Imaging Health Sciences, titled "A Correlational Study on Academic and Organizational Performance of Student Leaders in a Local University in Metro Manila in the New Normal." So let's take it away. Let's begin.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ana Carmen Abda, and I have the permission to share my screen. Is my presentation already visible for everyone? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Karina.
Thank you po. Good morning, everyone. Most especially to our panel of actors, and also to everyone here in the platform listening to our presentations. I am Ana Carmina Abela, and I will be presenting our study entitled "A Correlational Study on Academic and Organizational Performance of Student Leaders in a Local University in Metro Manila in the New Normal." So during in the past few years, it has been truly observed that COVID-19 has brought a lot of changes in the thing that surrounds us, and the universities being shut during this time made learning and the school activities from face-to-face to virtual. And it made it hard to adjust for many. As a student myself, and as one of the researchers was once a student herself, it has been a personal experience that being in this kind of setting is quite hard and challenging. And as future radiologic technologists, whose work is not only merely based on medical diagnostics, but also include managing community, hence engaging in leadership tasks, we have come up with a study whose main objective is to know the correlation on the academic performance and organizational performance of student leaders before and during this new normal, and also aim to know if there is a significant difference between these two terms. And to be able to find the results of this study, we have applied the following research methodology. First, this study utilized a quantitative approach supported with a qualitative data, which became the basis of gathering the outcomes of this research. And this data came from our respondents who are organizational student leaders in a local university in Metro Manila and their organizational advisors, which are then separated into two different respondent groups, those who served before the pandemic and those during the pandemic. And after gathering this data from our respondents, we use the Pearson moment of correlation coefficient as our quantitative tool to measure the correlation of their academic and organizational performance. And also t-test, pair t-test in comparing results from these two respondent groups rather. So for the findings and conclusions, as you can see on this table, we have used the students' general weighted average and self-assessment in measuring their academic performance. And as for the organizational performance, as you can see, we have gathered their organizational advisors' assessment and also their self-assessment in this organization. These were all taken into consideration, which we have taken the mean and standard deviation to be used in calculating their correlation and for the comparison of the two terms. So as shown in this table 3, which are those from the student leaders before the pandemic, we had a Pearson correlation value of 0.61, which indicates a strong correlation of the variables in a p-value which is less than the alpha. And this implies that there is a significant relationship between the student leaders' academic performance and organizational performance. This is the one before the pandemic. And with this result, this indicates that each variable affects each other. So as the academic performance increases, there is also an increase in the organizational performance of the student leaders. As for the table 4, which now gives us results from those student leaders during the pandemic, a Pearson correlation value of 0.49 is calculated, which indicates a moderate correlation of the variables and its p-value less than the alpha. It implies that there is also a significant relationship between the student leaders' academic performance and organizational performance during the pandemic. So on this one, this shows that there is only a slight difference when it comes to both variables and can be an indication of a slight imbalance among the academic performance and organizational performance of student leaders. So in comparing these two respondent groups, using t-test, it has been determined that both their academic and organizational performance have a significant difference, which can be observed as how the students' habits have changed and how they try to cope up. So with that, we have, there are some strategies that were also gathered from the students' leader themselves, which help their ways in coping to their studies and how being in an organization helped them become better students, how they balance their responsibilities with their advice to their fellow students in the same situation as they are. So as we have gathered all this information, in overall, we have concluded that helping each other is one of the most effective things to keep up with the lessons. And the respondents also inferred that being in an organization helps them in their social and communication skills. And they also added that handling both responsibilities is hard, but according to this research, planning ahead of time and putting things in appropriate priorities, thus time management, is a great help in balancing both academic and organizational responsibilities. They also have given the advice of enjoying both these responsibilities in order for them to work in harmony and not affect each other. So, in conclusion, each aspect has a significance to one another and could affect some things one way or another. It will just be a way on how things will be balanced and taken care of. Also, despite the pandemic being a hindrance, strategies can still help in learning and handling these responsibilities and make it easier for the students, like myself. And with the results, the researchers have come up with the programs that can help the current and future student leaders to improve both performances and set standards in appointing new student leaders in the future. And that would be all. And thank you very much for listening to my presentation.
Thank you very much, Miss Abilia. Thank you so much for that comprehensive, but a lot of information has been heard, okay, and has been learned from that. Thank you. Okay, so now let's proceed with the second paper presenters from the Institute of Nursing, titled "Lived Experience of Registered Nurses on the Use of Electronic Medical Records." Yes, sir. Bello, you may proceed. Thank you. Sir Bello, you are in mute. So please switch on your microphone. Thank you. I'm sorry, excuse me, Sir Bello. We can't hear you. Um, Hello, Sir Crizen. We still can't hear you, sir. Sir Bello, you're still not audible po. Let's give a minute to the second presenters from ION to fix their audio. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Esquivel. And just to give time also to our next presenters, just reminding everyone that the evaluation form will be given at the end of the day 2 session. So for those of us who were asking yesterday, please stay tuned and you will receive it at the end of the second day's session. So how
are our next presenters doing? I hope the tech on their end is better. How are you, Professor Esquivel?
We're good, Ma'am Camille. Thank you very much for asking. Or maybe, if it's all right, maybe we can proceed to the next presenter and just, swap the the chronology of presentation so that we may not waste time. Is that okay?
Perfectly
CUR.
fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so let's call on the third presenter from the College of Science, titled Investigating the Effectiveness of the Socratic Method in Promoting Student Engagement and Critical Thinking in Online Sciences Classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the presenter will be Professor Joy Pascual. Take it away, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Good morning po. My name is Joy Pascual, a faculty from the College of Science, and the focus of my research had been on investigating the effectiveness of Socratic method in promoting student engagement and critical thinking in online science classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so everyone who are here today could all agree that we've all experienced the impact of the COVID-19 on our lives. So that's why when the WHO decided to end this emergency status by saying that the COVID has officially ended, a lot of us were actually relieved. Okay, so what happened after that is recently the DOH reminds us that the threat is still here. So as per the DOH, despite the changes in the global emergency status, we must remain vigilant and proactive still in our responses. So this is why in the world of education, this situation made us change how we teach and also how we learn. While some of us here have gone back to regular face-to-face classes this year, many of us are still teaching online. So this has become our new normal. And this situation brought up a pressing question: how do we keep students engaged and foster their critical thinking skills in the world of online science classes? So that is why I have embarked on a journey to investigate a strategy that has shown remarkable promise in igniting students' critical thinking and engagement. And that strategy is the Socratic method. So as you may know, this method, Socratic method, originated from ancient Greece, and this age-old approach characterized by questioning, by dialogue, and critical inquiry. And this has been recognized as a powerful tool for promoting active participation in critical thinking. So this is the reason why I brought this method into my online classes. So for my research, my objectives are the following. My main research question is: how effective is the Socratic method in promoting engagement and enhancing critical thinking skills among participants? My specific research objectives are as follows: to investigate the impact of Socratic discussions on students' understanding on my chosen scientific concept, which is the GMO, or genetically modified organisms, within the Science, Technology, and Society course; to explore the influence of the Socratic method on students' critical thinking skills within the context of online learning during the COVID pandemic; to identify strategies to enhance the use of Socratic method in online discussions about GMOs during the COVID-19 pandemic. So as for my methodology, I conducted this research at our university involving the first year associate and customer service communication students enrolled in Science, Technology, and Society course. And I employed the mixed methods approach, which had two main components. First is the quantitative approach, and the second would be the qualitative approach. So as for the quantitative, I use po the pretest and post-test scores, and I compared the post-test, the pretest and post-test to assess the improvements in participants' understanding of scientific concepts. Then for qualitative, I explored the benefits and challenges of using the Socratic method in an online learning environment. So for my data collection, it included again the pretest and post-test, as specifically designed Socratic discussion guide and also interviews. So for the pretest post-test results, those were analyzed using a statistical techniques called the paired t-test or the paired sample t-test to assess any changes in students' understanding of GMOs and their critical thinking abilities. And this Socratic discussion guide was actually crafted by me, and it allowed my students to get acquainted with the topic ahead of time, at the same time also helping them gather their thoughts and shape their own perspectives. So this preparation was actually important in ensuring that they came to our Socratic discussion well prepared, therefore bringing more valuable ideas to our discussion. So for these interviews, the interview of data were of course analyzed thematically, identifying common themes and of course the categories and my students' perspectives. And I compared these themes with existing research in order to validate my findings. And here it is. So after gathering and analyzing the data, here's what I discovered. So for the quantitative, 17 students took part in both the pretest and post-test. So this test helped me in understanding how the Socratic discussion affected their knowledge about GMOs. So the mean score on the pretest was 8.24, which is how well they did before the discussion. Then after the discussion, the mean score on the post-test went up significantly to 12.47. So this increase shows that the Socratic discussion had a positive impact on how much the students understood GMOs. So to check if this difference is important, I use a paired sample t-test, and the result was negative 8.94, which means that there was really a big difference between the pre-test and post-test scores. So the p-value here for this test was less than 0.001. So it means that the difference I observed in the scores is statistically significant and not just due to chance. So in other words, the improvement in understanding GMOs after our Socratic discussion is a meaningful change. So as for qualitative findings, a subset of 13 students who voluntarily agreed to participate from our online STS class took part in semi-structured interviews. And of course, semantic analysis was performed on the interview data, and it revealed the several key themes. First, familiarity and introduction to the Socratic method, impact on their engagement, benefits and challenges of the Socratic method, promotion of critical thinking skills, enhancement of understanding scientific concepts, continuation of the Socratic method. So all in all, as for the findings, my students expressed a strong desire to continue the use of the Socratic method because they found it to enhance their engagement, as well as it allowed ownership of their own learning process. So my job as an instructor is just to provide guidance and support. So those are the things that I've considered in the implementation of this method. Now, in light of these findings, the following are my conclusions. So as for the objective one, to investigate the impact of a Socratic discussion on students' understanding of a chosen scientific concept, my research demonstrates that the Socratic discussions have a positive impact on students' comprehension of my chosen scientific concept, which is GMO, with a mean score significantly increasing from the pre-test to post-test. So this indicates that the Socratic method effectively enhances the students' understanding. Also, it moves beyond the rote memorization. So as for the qualitative, it confirms how the method promotes critical thinking, logical reasoning, and of course, a deeper grasp of the scientific concept. So as for objective two, to determine the effect of the Socratic method on students' critical thinking skills in the online learning environment during the COVID-19 pandemic. So this indicate that the Socratic method positively influences again the students' critical thinking skills. Participants reported improved in their critical thinking abilities, adept responses to unexpected questions, and increased inclination to explore more diverse perspectives. Then for objective three, to identify strategies for improving the use of the Socratic method in online science classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. So the qualitative results therefore offer insights into the strategies in order to optimize the use of the Socratic method in online discussions. So it has been shown that effective introductions, clear instructions, and of course guidance from the professors were crucial elements for enhancing the learning experiences and increasing the engagement of the students. So in conclusion, the findings of this study provide evidence that the Socratic method is highly effective in promoting engagement and enhancing critical thinking skills among the students participants. Therefore, educators like us can utilize the insights gained from this research in order to optimize the implementation of the Socratic method and maximize student engagement, ultimately enhancing their online learning experience. And these are the recommendations arising from this research, and that would include the implementation of the Socratic method in an online science classes to promote critical thinking, active engagement, and deeper understanding of scientific concepts, provide clear instructions and guidance for effective participation in Socratic method discussions, also we could address challenges related to online discussions such as lack of motivation, technical issues, and absence of face-to-face interaction through proper planning, facilitation, and the use of appropriate online tools. We could also offer continued support and guidance from instructors to ensure comprehensive understanding and student success. And we could align assessment strategies with the goals of the Socratic method to evaluate student learning effectively and regularly reflect on the effectiveness of the Socratic method in online science classes and make necessary adjustments based on student feedback and outcomes. Another, explore the long-term effects of the Socratic method, its application in different subject areas, and additional considerations that may impact its implementation and effectiveness in online learning environments. And the last one, further research could investigate the relationship between the Socratic method and student outcomes such as academic performance and retention rates to strengthen the evidence base for its effectiveness.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Joy. Thank you very much. So that is our second presenter. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a very interesting result. So now let's proceed to the third presenter. We are still waiting for Sir Belio to join us, but he told us that he's still fixing some things about his end. So we will now proceed with the originally fourth presenter to be the third presenter for this session. So the third presenter is from the College of Arts and Letters and the Higher School ng UMak, and their paper is titled Mental Health Strategies in Online Learning of Physical Science During the Pandemic. And this will be presented by Ma'am Mary June Aguilion. Take it away, ma'am.
Reception is rather choppy.
Hi, ma'am. Excuse me, Ma'am June. Yes, it's a little bit choppy. So can we try again, ma'am?
Audible on my end. It's choppy. Still choppy. Sorry, apologies
Sorry,
for interrupting.
it's still choppy
Because
on this
at
one.
least on my end, it's choppy. Maybe we could get feedback
Yes.
also from the audience if they're
Yes, ma'am. Opo, it's
experiencing
still
the same
choppy.
thing. But
Opo.
Professor Esquivel
Yeah.
is concurring with me on.
Yes, it is still choppy po, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. Something we may
Um,
have to fix in terms
yes,
of
opo.
the audio.
Okay. Sige, ma'am June, can we try again? Thank you. Ma'am, sorry. Ma'am June, sorry, excuse me, it's still choppy. Okay.
Right.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Because
Yeah.
Hello.
it's still
Okay,
not
go try,
a
ma'am.
very good
Mm-hmm.
reception. We also,
Mm-hmm.
assuming you're in the University of Makati, may
Yes,
we
ma'am.
also
Mm-hmm.
invite you to do the presentation here in the mini theater? It might help you have a more audible presentation. I wonder. Okay, I see
Sige po.
nods also from the rest of the
Yes, opo.
HSU team. So, Professor Esquivel, we will just give them time to set up.
Yes po. And maybe we can also ask Sir Belio to do the same because he's also having a hard time connecting. Thank you.
Correct, correct. I would have to agree with you on that one, Professor Esquivel. So I think we could announce it to everybody, especially if you are in the University of Makati anyway. Hope you'll be okay to do the presentation here in the mini theater. It's been wonderfully renovated for this very purpose also. I mean, for us to be able to appreciate it for this purpose rather. So please do not hesitate to contact the CUR team and tell them that you wish to present here instead. Also, Professor Esquivel, I would just like to take this opportunity to express what the tech team also gave as a feedback. For those presenters using Canva, kindly download your actual presentation because in as much as we appreciate Canva for making it things easier for us, they're not our sponsors. So kindly download the entire file and then that's what we should project full screen. So maybe next time we should already invite them. I know they're more than willing to join events like this. So apologies, Professor Esquivel. Did I interrupt you with anything?
No, ma'am, it's all right. Okay, and would also like to remind the presenters to please um, present your slides in presentation mode, okay, so that it can be seen full screen. Thank
Forgive
you.
me, Professor
Ma'am,
Esquivel. This time you're the one who's also choppy. So welcome to the VUCA world. And despite the VUCA world, we must maintain our synergy with each other. So we're all working on making our tech more optimal for today's presentation. So,
Ma'am Camille, excuse me. I think Sir President Bello is now ready. He's raising his hand.
all right. So, we could
So you're
proceed
audible now.
first with Institute of
Ready?
Nursing, correct, Professor?
Yes, ma'am. So let's now listen to the presentation of the Institute of Nursing by
Tech team,
Sir President
just
Bello.
would like to center also. Tech team, Institute of Nursing will be presenting first. They're ready now with their tech. That's okay? All right, let's all proceed. Thank you, Professor Esquivel.
Take it away, Sir Bello. Sir Crizen, you may start. You are muted, Sir Crizen, but your presentation is moving. So, okay.
Yes. Sorry, narinig na po ba? Sorry po.
You're audible now, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sorry po. So again, blessed morning to everyone. I am Crizen Bello from Institute of Nursing alongside my esteemed co-authors enlisted here. So today I am privileged of discussing a research study titled Live Experiences of Registered Nurses on the Use of Electronic Medical Records. So have you observed the changes in healthcare these past few years? Or have you witnessed the emergence of digital health technologies? Indeed, we are now gearing towards digital age, which significantly affects nurses, especially in terms of EMR adoption. The purpose of this study is to describe and explore the experiences of registered nurses regarding their use of EMR in the daily nursing practice. This information is crucial to understand because it can aid in reinforcing EMR adoption, which is vital to maximize the benefit that EMR brings to healthcare. Apart from that, pursuing this study could help bridge the gap in the existing research landscape. Additionally, it allows us to recognize the unique contextual factors and challenges that Filipino healthcare professionals encounter in their daily practice. According to Abura, the 2018 EMR system have been available in healthcare settings for several years with usage of the system increasing worldwide. In addition, Uslu and Strasbourg 2021 discusses that EMR promote quality of care, increase reliability of information. However, as stated by Menikemi and Column 2011, despite the growing literature on benefits of various EMR functionalities, some authors have identified potential disadvantages associated with this technology. Nevertheless, almost all of the sources cited and gathered were foreign-based. No available research explored the lived experience of Filipino registered nurses on the use of EMR. Moreover, there is no previous study, neither foreign nor local, that formulated the themes about the subject matter through four reflections. That is why our study intends to explore and understand the lived experience of registered nurses on the use of EMR. Specifically, it aims to answer the following question: what individual, composite, interlacing themes may be derived from the lived experience of registered nurses on the use of electronic medical records, and what eidetic insight may be drawn from the study. Now, in order for us to answer these questions, our research study utilized qualitative approach, specifically phenomenology, because of its usefulness in understanding the meaning of people's lived
Regalia.
experiences. Moreover, our study used Rosano Siloxin's technological competency as caring in nursing and Jane Watson's theory of human caring as a theoretical foundation to guide the research. Now, the researchers used purposive and random sampling to distinguish the participants needed. The researchers identified the number of co-authors needed using data saturation per hospital, in which the respondents must fit within the following criteria. First, respondents who is currently working or worked for the past 6 months as a registered nurses at Hospital A in Taguig City, Hospital B in Makati City, Hospital C in San Juan City, and Hospital D in San Fernando City, and have at least 1 year of experience in using electronic medical record. Now, for the collection tool, a semi-structured interview was conducted by Zoom. To give example of interview, here's an sample audio. In success, others at the wheel, which presents that EMR integration would be in vain without the support of others. Flight from the face of danger, which explains that EMR enables other healthcare provider to perform higher accuracy interventions. Seizes the sands of time, which facilitates productivity and maximize time, drawing the line. EMR limitations such as delayed discharge process, fragmented fusion charting, the EMR maze, emphasize the absence of interoperability in hospital B. Next slide. In color brown, our co-researchers interlacing themes. Path to streamline process, age, and favorable attitude factors toward EMR system will facilitate EMR integration. dominant upsides, which represents favorable influential aspects, inferior drawbacks. These are limitations and challenges that need to be acknowledged in using AMR. The three interlacing themes came up. A cluster description paved the way to unearth the core essence of all the teams derive entitled Pet Care, Revitalizing and Elevating Care with Technology. It denotes that new technology in the form of AMR systems offers more positive impacts on the nursing profession, especially in terms of providing patient-centered care. So from our conclusion, AMR has the power to revitalize and elevate care. It revitalizes care as it gives new life or vibrancy to healthcare practice and elevates care by enhancing the healthcare practice in different aspects. Nurses have shown that EMR simplifies nursing documentation and expedites access to medical records, allowing them to spend more time on patient interaction and care. EMR also contain all relevant patient information available with just a click of a button, enabling healthcare professionals to collaborate and know the health condition, guiding clinical decision making. Now for our recommendation, to utilize first is to utilize this knowledge derived from the study, which can help increase the awareness of the reader about EMR. Next is that taking the results of the study into account, student nurses are encouraged to learn about EMR promptly, and educators are recommended to strengthen the systematic course, as this will prepare future users with technology-driven healthcare practices. And lastly, to explore other concepts that are not within the scope of the present research, which includes conducting the study in a larger population, involving healthcare professionals aside from the research. They may also explore the barriers and other factors influence EMR integration. Now, allow me to read this quote by George Bush. It says here that by computerizing health records, we can avoid dangerous medical mistakes and improve care. Once again, thank you and blessed morning, everyone. And here's our reference.
Wow, thank you very much, Sir Belio. That was a very interesting paper presentation. It's really interesting to hear that these medical records can be made digitalized. Okay, so that's something. Okay, thank you, sir. So now let's proceed to the last presenter before we will pause for a lunch break. Okay, so let me call again from the higher school ng UMak and the College of Arts and Letters, our fourth and last presenter for Group 1, Miss Mary June Aguilion. Take it away, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon. Am I audible?
You are, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am honored to share with you our study that delves into a subject of growing concern in our digital age. It is entitled Mental Health Strategies in Online Learning of Physical Science During Pandemic, authored by Ms. Lorna Esquivel, Mr. Francis Jerome, and yours truly, Ms. Mary June Agalia. So let me begin by defining mental health. So according to World Health Organization, it is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well and work well, and contribute to their community. It is an integral component of well-being that underpins our individual and collective abilities to make decisions, build relationships, and shape the world we live in. Mental health conditions are increasing worldwide, mainly of demographic changes. There has been 13% rise in mental health condition and substance use disorders in the last decade. Approximately 1 in 5 people in post-conflict settings have a mental health condition. According to World Health Organization, it can actually have a substantial effect on all areas of life, such as school or work performance, relationship with friends, and ability to participate in the community. Teachers play a critical role in the lives of students with mental health conditions, in both skill development and support, fostering a positive relationship with all the students. However, it is particularly essential to students with mental health conditions. In 2021, as a response to growing concerns for the mental health of students and teachers, the Department of Education instructed its division office to promote the mental health helplines of organizations dedicated to providing psychological and psychosocial support services, according to the study of CHI 2023. But there are only roughly 2,000 guidance counselors and around 28 million students. This translates to a ratio of about one guidance counselor for every 14,000 students. Globally, the ideal ratio of guidance counselor is 1 is to 250. We're stretching it here in the Philippines to 1 is to 500, Galvan said, as cited by Chi in her study in 2023. With this reality, the teachers are also trying their best to respond by integrating strategies that can help address issues on mental health, such as minute of mindfulness, screen break, and chair exercise. Let me define first this different strategies. So, minute of mindfulness, according to Lamarocks 2021, it is an opportunity to pause and reset your mind and body. Whilst screen break is just simply to take a break from all screens, based on the study of WFMC 2023. While chair exercise is an alternative way to get physically fit and strengthen certain areas of the body, according to Dave Fort in 2022. Generally, these strategies in learning parlance are called brain break in the classroom. Brain breaks are quick, structured using physical movement, mindfulness, exercise, or sensory activities as cited by Maureen. And these are all done in actual learning. The purpose of our study is to answer the following question. What are the mental health strategies used in online learning of physical science? How did the strategies promote mental health improvement? And lastly, why should mental health strategies be integrated in online learning? The study described the effect of using mental health strategies in online learning of physical science, thus a descriptive research analysis was utilized. The researchers conducted an interview to 19 grade 11 students who took physical science during the school year 2021 to 2022 and 2022 to 2023. The researchers used convenience sampling technique. The gathered data led to the following results. The informants' response to mental health strategies are as follows: chair movement activity, mindfulness activity, and screen break. 12 out of 19 informants responded that screen break as the most impactful strategy. For the next table, the informant's response to strategies promoted mental health improvement identified proactiveness, reactiveness, and it distresses them. Actually, all answers gained the same number of response, which is 15 out of 19. For the last table, the informant responds to reasons why mental health strategies should be integrated in online learning are as follows: to boost their self-esteem, help in
Stress reduction.
self-preparedness, stress reduction, and help in focusing. Stress reduction and help in focusing gain the same number of response, which is 12 out of 19. Therefore, the researchers concluded that mental health strategies in online learning of physical science varies according to chair movement, mindfulness, and screen break. The strategies promoted mental health performance on becoming proactive, reactive, and distressed in class. It is undeniably assisted them in performing better while learning. Hence, these mentioned mental health strategies must be integrated in online learning because it aids in stress reduction, helps in focus, and leads to self-preparedness. Utilizing these mental strategies are indeed of online learning. With that, the researchers recommend the following. Include mental health strategies into learning physical science. Conduct more research to explore and search for different mental health strategies that can be used in class, leading to creation of a compendium of mental health strategies. And lastly, implement a more impact-based program to promote awareness and collective efforts in showing and individual respect and acceptance. With this, we would like to end. I would like to end this presentation with a short quotation coming from embracehealth.com, in which small steps can lead to big progress in mental health. And that would be all. Thank you, and
All right. Thank you very much, Ma'am June. That's very interesting to hear that your group wanted to come up with a compendium of mental health strategies that would really help, okay, in the promotion of a more quality life, especially that we are still using the online modality or high flex modality when it comes to teaching and learning. Thank you very much. A round of applause to all our Group 1 presenters, again from IIHS, from ION, from the College of Arts and Letters and Higher School ng UMak, and from the College of Sciences. Thank you very much, Group 1. Congratulations, everyone. Okay. So at this point, I was told that our Q&A portion will be done later after lunch. So since it's already 12:15, we will now proceed to um, having our lunch. So we will resume immediately after lunch break. Thank you very much. May I turn over the floor again to Ma'am Camille for other
That's correct.
announcements. Ma'am Camille.
That's correct, Professor Esquivel. Thank you for reiterating that. I think just to concur also with one of the researches done earlier, we should take a health break, a mental health break. So on my watch, it's 12:15. We will resume at 1:15 p.m. Enjoy your lunch. Bon appetit.